Hi, folks. I'm Steve Wilcox. I am the Director of Maintenance Program Planning here at the New York State Department of Transportation. I've been with the department going on 38 years. I've been in maintenance for the last 27. And in maintenance, my responsibilities are I oversee our computer systems. I oversee our budget of about $250 million. Our facilities program, which is about 800 buildings that we're responsible for. And I am also the asset management lead for the agency. As such, I'm responsible for our asset management plan. I am the lead for our enterprise asset management system development, and I'm the program manager for the Esri SOE project. All right, so I'm going to talk about systems of engagement. And in doing so, I'm going to use a library analogy to describe, really what the difference is between a system of record and a system of engagement. I look at systems of record to be like medieval libraries. If you've seen Game of Thrones, the library in the Citadel, the books are chained to the shelves. Access to the room, maybe behind a locked gate. Few people could read. The books were often written in Latin, and only scholars could read them. Back then, books were hand copied by experts, often monks, making them very expensive. The system of engagement really reflects more of the Renaissance. With the Renaissance came the printing press, which made books inexpensive, made them widely available. Books became focused on more practical things for average people, and more people learned to read. And because of that, scholarship flourished through the Renaissance because of knowledge sharing. So how do we create these apps, these books in the library that we're creating? What we do is we start with market research to see what folks want to read, what apps they want. How we did that is we did a statewide tour. We went out to all 11 regions here in New York State, and we discussed, really what would an app be that would help you with your job? Talk about not systems, but talk about just what information you need to help you do your job. We got over 700 ideas in doing that. We consolidated those ideas around themes, and then we went to look and see and prioritize those. And then we went to look and see what kind of source materials we had to build these apps. So SOE is really built on leveraging authoritative data that is already available. So we need to go and see if those sources may be department sources. They may be publicly available sources. They may be sources from other agencies. So we need to see if that data is available to begin with. We take that information and we build reusable web services. These are like Legos that we use to make the data available in the apps. The beauty of the web service is once we create the web service, say we create a web service to bring in project data. If we create that web service for one app, if we want to bring that project data into another app, that web service is developed and we can use it over and over again in multiple apps. We then need to go and find what we would call the authors. These are the subject matter experts. We have them serve on app teams. They tell us what the critical information is that should be in the app, what it should look like, how do we symbolize some of this to make it easy for folks to get at and to understand what are the layers that we're looking to create. So then we go and we create the draft. These are quick prototypes for the app teams to review. And that's another beauty of the SOE. If you've built systems of record, they could take years to develop. These apps, within 6 weeks, you could quickly prototype these apps and get them out to review. We have 2 to 3 iterations of these apps, and then we put them into production. So they are very quick to put together. and to make available to folks. We then advertise these. We have our own internal internet in the department. So we put notices up when a new app is available. And we have a central location, a central library called the Maps and Apps Library, which is, there's a banner right on that NYSDOT site to be able to access the full library. And then right now what we're creating is a dashboard so we can better understand which apps are getting the most use, so that in the future we can tailor our apps to what folks are using. So our best seller, the Winter Ops app. The Winter Ops app has become absolutely critical to us managing our snow and ice operations here in New York. This is a good example of how we're bringing in data from multiple sources. What you'll see when a snow event is going to occur, we will bring in National Weather Service radar information so you can see the storm coming in. We bring in 72-hour snowfall prediction so we can have an idea of how much snow is coming. We connect to our 511 system, which will tell us if there are incidents, accidents, delays on the system. We're bringing in our winter traveler information, which if you see some of these green lines, we highlight the roads in the state showing by different color in terms of what the road conditions are. So green is generally clear and dry. We'll have pink if the roads are snow covered. We will have other colors if the road is closed. So to give folks an idea of what the road conditions are. We have AVL, automated vehicle location, on all of our plow trucks. So when the storm is occurring, you can see the plow trucks begin to move on the system. You can see how fast they're moving. You can see where they are. We also have telemetry on the trucks that will tell us what the chemical applications are. Are we applying salt? Are we applying brine? At what rate are we applying these things? So that we can better manage the operations. We also have salt stockpile information so that we can see if we're starting to get low on salt in certain parts of the state. So we've created about 20 apps so far with the help of Esri. So as we move forward, so that we don't end up having to put dozens, if not hundreds of layers in these apps, what we've done is built this thing called the See This View In. We like to call it the hopper. It's a way of saying, it's like, I am looking at culvert inventory data in an app. And I want to know, are there environmental issues associated with this? I can then click on the See This View In, and I can click on the surface waters viewer, and the system will take me right into the exact same map extent that I was looking at in the culvert viewer to show me the same location so that I can see if there are environmental issues, wetlands, endangered species, anything like that I may want to know before I go to do culvert work. So organizing the library, the central principle here is we're creating like the campus library, the central library here, so that there's one source where folks can go to get any information that they're looking for to help them do their jobs. So we've built this library with these app cards. On the app cards, there are two buttons on the app card. One will take you directly to the app. It'll launch the app. The other is info page for each app. The nice thing about those info pages is they have help documents, data details. Folks want to know where the data came from, how often it's refreshed, who owns it, what the source is, navigation guide. So how do you use the app? And we've got a navigation video for each of these that shows you how to use the app. There's also a little feedback button so that if folks have suggestions on how to improve the app, or they just want to provide feedback on what their experience was with the app, they can click on that and provide us feedback. Most of the apps are all access. They're read-only. They're available to everyone. We also have put what we call our Airloop apps. We had a number of GIS apps that were created before we launched the SOE. So we're bringing all of these geospatial applications into one place. There are also some that are secured and have limited access. So if there's data that is sensitive, we can put them up here and secure them so that only certain folks or certain organizations have access to those. So what's everyone reading? You know, we've built these apps. What are the ones that are getting the most use? You see the Winter Ops app is very integral to what we do. That's gotten tens of thousands of views. We can see, you know, which regions are using the apps, how much the regions are using it, when they're using it. And we're also looking into the next phase of this to be able to see which groups in the region. Is it the regional maintenance groups that are using these particular apps? Is it the planning group? Is it construction? So that we have a better sense of who these users are. So in the end, to sum up this library analogy, the goal is a paradigm shift. We are trying to get away from thinking about computer systems as big, complex systems of record with hundreds, if not thousands of tables that are very difficult to traverse, to finding the information that most folks need to do their job and make it widely available to everyone. The information, as much as possible, shouldn't require special access, special security to get in and use it. And it shouldn't require special knowledge of complex databases with all of these tables where you have to join data or query using tools like SQL. So our goal is to think of this as a renaissance. We are trying to liberate data and democratize it so that, you know, we create all of this data and these systems of record. We're really creating it to make it useful to folks in the workforce around how they use information to do their jobs. And thank you all very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about our System of Engagement project.